Good evening, good night, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. Global Lawrence is my name, a senior consultant with Zaros International Group. I am here to discuss two issues, two subjects, R of O and C of O. R of O is right of occupancy and C of O is certificate of occupancy. Perhaps you may have or you may be hearing R of O for the first time. Be guided. Many people have not heard of it. But before I move forward, I am asking that please like our channel and subscribe to our channel so that once we come up with intel on real estate or things that concern construction and hiring of heavy construction equipment, you can have it firsthand. And should you have a comment, especially as concerned what intel on real estate, either purchase here or titles in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, please make your comment. We may do your concern in our next episode. Thank you. R of O and C of O. Perhaps let me start by telling a story. It will be clearer for you after hearing the story, for you to know why it should concern you. Some years back, even before I became a consultant, I read online of a land transaction that happened somewhere in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. A man wanted to buy land and asked the seller whether he has CFO. He said yes, that he has CFO. So they fixed for the time and they gave him the document. He immediately saw the coat of arms, Nigeria coat of arms, and the governor and the signature of the governor then. He didn't bother to look at the document well. And the transaction went through. Few years down the timeline, he wanted to borrow money from one of the banks in the city. And the bank asked him what he's using as collateral security. Say his land. They asked him that if it's land that they need CFO. He say yes, that my land has CFO. They say all right, go and bring it. It was when he brought the document that the loan officer looked at it carefully and said, "Oh God, this is R of O, right of occupancy. It is not C of O." The man said, "What is the difference?" That was his first reaction. He said, "No, R of O is not C of O. R of O is a different thing and C of O is a different thing. As a matter of fact, what the bank transacts on here is only with C of O." The man said, "Maybe, are you sure it's not typographical?" The bank said, no, it's nothing like typographical in this matter. It is, the man keep arguing that it's issued by the governor. Yes, they say both R of O and C of O is issued by the governor. So the man now stormed out of the bank and started tracking the guy that sold the land to him. Luckily, he got him. And when he met him, he said, "CO, that thing you say is C of O, it's not C of O." The man said, "Maybe it's typographical." I show him the document and tell him that the bank insists that it is a property, one of the property titles. So, what does he expect how do you expect the transaction to end? Now, the man, he gave money since 2 years ago and blown the money. So, he now went back to the bank and the bank said, well, that everything is not yet spoiled. That he could still upgrade from R of O to C of O. But you and I know that though they will tell you it's 21 days to process C of O, like in City of Lagos. But sometimes 90 days it has not happened. Because if the governor is busy or traveled or have something serious to do or even out of the country, do you expect him to come home and because of you to come and sign your CFO? No. So apart from time, the amount to process CFO CFO in Lagos is about 1.5 to 2 million to 3 million. I don't even know how much loan he's looking for in the bank anyway. So this story perhaps may have opened your eye to understand that you have to check your documents well before you make a purchase. And be aware that there's a document called RofO, issued both by the governor of any state. Now, RofO is your statutory right to possess a land, whether individual or corporate body. CofO is certificate of occupancy, confirming that that land is yours forever. I mean, almost in perpetuity. But they are not the same. RofO is renewable. It's for a limited time and may be renewable and can be upgraded to a CofO. But until it's upgraded to a CofO, it remains RofO and of lesser kinetics than CofO. CofO is issued by the government, yes. RofO issued by the government, yes. But they are not of the same power. In fact, CofO is the recognized prerequisite for all land transactions, land sales, financial transactions, and the transfer of ownership. That is the recognized one. RofO could be used for some form of even loan transaction or mortgage. But where the powers of RofO ends is where the power, the kinetics of CofO starts. There is no basis for comparison. On strength, the RofO is far less powerful than CofO. On legality, the lawyers, estate companies, and the banks and everybody recognize in perpetuity that CofO is the main thing, because that's what is used for any serious land transaction. RofO itself has two types. There's the statutory RofO, which is backed by land laws, and then the customary RofO, which is backed up by the local customs. While RofO statutory is issued by the governor of a state, the RofO customary is issued by the local government chairman. You can never see the governor of the state issue RofO on customary basis. It's on the statutory basis. So, be guided. So, the RofO, like I said before, can be used for some less kinetic transaction, but CofO is used for all transactions, whether in the city or in the village or even international. Okay, so while RofO may not fly much in the city, let's say city of Lagos now, maybe 50% of the people may own, landowners may own CofO. Maybe like 20% own RofO. But in the city, the reverse is the case. Before you see somebody with CofO in the village, maybe less than 1% of the people own CofO, because basically their land deals are on customary. These ancestors, this land transfer from my father to my grandfather to father and stuff like that. So even they don't even understand what they're talking about CofO. But some people still do have CofO. That means anyone that have RofO in the village is king of title there. Because I live in the village myself sometimes. The land transaction there, sometimes they don't even need, most of the time they don't even need lawyer. What they do is that if I'm the land seller, I come with one witness, you are the buyer, come with one witness. Then they say, this land they belonging to me, I'm selling it to you. And I have my witness, Mr. Ojo, and you are witness, Mr. Samuel. There are 0.3 in the land. And we sign it, and it's still valid. It's litigable in the court. So you can imagine now somebody with RofO, he's a king, he's king of titles in the village. And very few people still have it anyway. Maybe less than 10% of the people have RofO. Most people are still relying on traditional, customary ownership of land to do their land transaction. And even sometimes that customary and traditional something is recognized by the bank. They still use, some banks still use it to give the loan. Now you can imagine somebody that have RofO in this village. Yay. The bank will use it to give you loan. You will use it to do transaction, all manner of things. You can use it to do your mortgage in the village. So while it's downplayed in the city, in the village, it is king of titles. So it depends. So if you are buying land in the village and somebody says he has RofO, hey man, RofO, he's king of titles in the village. In Abuja, the people that sue RofO is Federal Capital Development Authority. And of course, the person that signed the document is the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, whoever he is. And perhaps why they are doing this is because, lands in Abuja, in fact, many people in Abuja, most of the lands, large number of lands, the title they have is RofO. Not CofO. But some of them, when you ask them whether they have documents, say it's CofO. It's not CofO, it's RofO. It happened a lot in Abuja. So be guided if you are investing in land in Abuja. And once this is issued, because Abuja is a hot place, the federal government can come out anytime and say we want to build the airports or something. They want something because to revoke RofO is very easy. While CofO revocation is very complex, and the duration of RofO may be minimal, but that of CofO is also it's almost perpetual. Of course, it's revocable and renewable, but the renewal time, minimum renewal time, nothing